Four of Swords reversed. When the Four of Swords reversed appears in a reading, you or someone very close to you is exhausted, on every level. This is not a time to push yourself beyond your limits. To do so now is to risk all that you have worked so hard for: your health, your work, your relationships. It's more than okay to take a break. It's critical now. Generally, the reversed Four of Swords means that in addition to feeling tired, you may be feeling a bit isolated. Do not look at this as a permanent situation. Allow yourself to rest, and know that the relationships and friendships that you need are coming. Take one step at a time. Work. As with the upright Four of Swords, the reversed Four suggests that some time off from work would be beneficial. You may also find that something about the way things are done at work/in your field which has never seemed right to you may become a lot clearer, and you'll find yourself supporting this practice. If you are looking for work, it may be important to take at least a few hours break to rethink. Are you looking in the right place, with the right people? This card suggests that you may need to change tactics. Love. The reversed Four of Swords, if you are currently in a romantic relationship, can show that you will need to make extra effort to find yourself feeling more together with your partner. However, you also need to stay alert to the fact that your partner may be exhausted for other reasons, such as health or work, and if so, you need to not take this personally. If you are looking for love and coming up empty-handed, and this has been so for some time, then it is definitely time to change your tactics. For instance, if you've been looking online, try groups which meet in person, or vice versa. Finances. When the Four of Swords reversed appears in the context of a money question, you may benefit a great deal by taking the counterintuitive step of putting money out of your mind for at least a few hours. Anxiety and worry may be interfering with your ability to think rationally and carefully about what you need to do. You may need, once you've had a bit of a break, to reassess your spending habits and your savings habits. You can make any changes necessary. Health. The reversed Four of Swords can indicate that you are about to finally put some self-limiting beliefs behind you, and this can cause major leaps forward both in your outlook and in your health. However, this card is a clear indicator that you must rest, that you have been pushing yourself far too hard. Especially if you feel you can't afford to take a day off, that means that you really need to do so. Spirituality. When it comes to spirituality, the reversed Four indicates a need for no action, rather than pushing yourself further. Stillness, meditation, and rest can open up your spirit more now than anything else you could possibly do or attend. Consider meditation on the following: peace, be still. Tarot history. The history of the tarot is shrouded in mystery. Very little in the way of concrete information is known about its origin, although many things have been written about it. We will probably never know the truth, as fact and fiction seem to be irrevocably mixed nowadays. The tarot originated in northern Italy in the early 15th century, sometime between 1420 to 1440. Despite the fact that it is often attributed to originating from China, Egypt, India, or Morocco, to name just a few, there is absolutely no evidence that this is the case. Nor, as is often quoted, is there any evidence whatsoever that the tarot was brought to Europe by the Romanis. The name tarot is often attributed to being Egyptian, Hebrew, or Latin. This is not the case. The earliest names are all Italian in origin. The cards were originally called carte de triomphe, Around 1530 the word tarot began to be used to differentiate them from a new game of triumphs that was in vogue at the time. The etymology of this new word is unknown. The German variant was known as tarot and the French tarot. The symbolism for the tarot is drawn from the culture of medieval and Renaissance Europe. The tarot subjects are distinctive to European Christendom. The symbolism does not come from Egypt or any of the other exotic locales often mentioned. It is often stated that modern-day playing cards evolved from the tarot. This is not the case. Modern-day playing cards came to Europe courtesy of Islam. They were an adaptation of the Islamic Mamluk cards. They appeared quite suddenly in many different European cities between 1375 and 1378. These early cards had suits of cups, swords, coins, and polo sticks, and courts consisting of a king and two male underlings. The tarot adds the Fool, the trumps, and a set of queens to this system. Sometime before 1480, the French introduced cards with the now familiar suits of hearts, clubs, spades, and diamonds. The Joker is not original to either the early form of modern-day cards, or to the tarot, but instead originated in the USA around 1857 and was used as a wild card in poker as well as the highest trump in euchre. It is also often stated that the Catholic and Protestant churches outlawed the tarot and all who used it in an effort to stamp out so-called heretical teachings. This is not the case. The Inquisition documented what the Church considered as evidence of heresy in great detail. The tarot was not even mentioned. After the Reformation, less controversial images for the Pope and Papess were substituted by card makers as the Church had objected to the original images. It is often said that the tarot was not used as a divination tool prior to 1781. The tarot was used as early as the 16th century to compose poems describing personality characteristics. There is historical evidence that in one case at least these verses were presented as relating to the person's fate. In other words, divination. Divinatory meanings were assigned to the tarot in Bologna in the early 1700s, and this is the first unambiguous evidence of tarot divination. Ordinary playing cards were connected with divination as early as 1487. It is not unreasonable to think that the tarot was also. The tarot has often been attributed with being a pillar of Western esoterica occultism. This is certainly not the case. The first occult writers to discuss the tarot were Court de Gabellin and the Comte de Melot in 1781. The tarot was not mentioned in any occult work for the first 350 years of its existence. The terms Major Arcana, Minor Arcana, High Priestess, and Hierophant are anachronistic when referring to the older tarot decks. The historically appropriate terms are the trumps and the fool, the suit cards, Papess or Popess, and Pope. Likewise, pentacles and wands are relatively recent substitutions for the traditional suit names of coins and staves or batons. The original Italian titles of the cards were in some cases different from the later French titles that have become familiar to us through the Tarot de Marseille and its descendants. Also, the ordering of the trumps varied considerably in Italy, where the cards originated. It is not known which ordering is the earliest one. Even the number of cards in the deck varied a great deal. So care should be used in making statements about the original meaning of the cards based on the familiar titles and ordering. Many believe that the Waite-Smith Tarot is the original, standard, or most authentic tarot deck in existence. This is absolutely untrue. The Waite-Smith/Rider-Waite deck was created in 1909, not even 100 years ago, making it a relative newcomer in the almost 600-year history of the tarot. There is actually no definitive version of the tarot.